We're going to get started. Torah YAH for another Shabbat day, thanking the Most High God for the blessing of the Shabbat day. I pray that the Most High God will continue to bless. Plug that into that computer. Continue to bless each and every one of us. We will proceed to the portion of Shemini. This is found in the book of Leviticus. We will begin in chapter 9. And I pray that the Most High God gives us insight, something new in this portion. So Shemini means A. As we do this every year. And this is really bad because it's a presentation that goes with this. There's nothing on this TV that indicates to me. Hopefully that's it. We good to go. Hallelujah. Torah YAH. Let us read, Chief.
We're in the book of Leviticus, chapter 9, verse 1. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And it came to pass on the 8th day that Moshe called Aharon and his sons, and the elders of Yisrael, and he said unto Aharon, take thee a bull calf for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering, without blemish, and offer them before Jehovah. And unto the children of Israel thou shalt speak, saying, take ye a he-goat for a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both of the first year, without blemish, for a burnt offering. And an ox and a ram for peace offerings, to sacrifice before Jehovah, and a meal offering mingled with oil. For today Jehovah appeareth unto you. And they brought that which Moshe commanded before the tent of meeting. And all the congregation drew near and stood before Jehovah. And Moshe said, this is the thing which Jehovah commanded that ye should do, that the glory of Jehovah may appear unto you. And Moshe said unto Aharon, draw near unto the altar, and offer thy sin offering and thy burnt offering, and make atonement for thyself and for the people, and present the offering of the people, and make atonement for them as Jehovah commanded.
So we see here previously the people, the priests, Aaron and his sons, they have gone through a 7-day cleansing in preparation to inaugurate the actual tabernacle and the service that they were going to be doing inside of this tabernacle. So this is the beginning of this actual place being erected into service. So there was a preparation that went into it and putting this actual tabernacle up. So hopefully I could get this to work. Just use that arrow for me, the tabernacle. Where's the tabernacle at? Yeah. All right, right here. So this is the actual inauguration of this actual tent that was being instructed through the last weeks that we've been going through the different portions. So actually this is being put up. Finally, this is the structure. And this is where they had to stay for 7 days. They were not able to leave from this place because there was a sanctification. There was a separation from the common to the holy. They were about ready to be elevated into service before the Most High God. And you don't want any kind of mistakes. You have to be in a physical clean state, and you also have to be in a mental clean state when you go before God. So this is what's happening. And right here, go back one more. So right here, this is Aaron's offering. For himself, he has to offer up a bull, for the people, he offers up a goat. So this brings up a very interesting conversation, because anytime we see that there's a sacrifice for the children of Israel, there's always a goat. There's always, when we get to Yom Kippur, there's 2 goats that are, one is set aside for Uzziel, which is the scapegoat, and the next one is burnt up. You know, and the sins of, and the Uzziel, you put the sins of Israel up on this goat. The priest has to put his hands on this goat and confess all the sins of Israel upon this goat. The interesting thing that in Christianity, they call the Christ of the New Testament the Lamb, and that he came and he died for the sins of the world. He was the sacrificial lamb. First of all, God never uses human sacrifice. The other part is that you never use a lamb to put the sins of the people on. There's always a goat. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't come and die for no one's sin but his own. And we all die for our own iniquities, like Deuteronomy 24 says, and like the book of Ezekiel 18 says, that no longer should you use this proverb in Israel, that the sons have been put to death for the father, neither have the fathers been put to death for the sons. He said, but everyone should die for their own iniquity. So when they run this by you, you said, the Most High God never uses a lamb as a sacrifice for a sin offering for the nation of Israel. It's always a goat. So, you know, those are just phrases and things that sound, you know, good. He is the lamb of salvation. He's the one that was offered up. None of that. Everyone dies for their own iniquity. And that's the way we got to keep it. So let us go.
Verse 8. So Aharon drew near unto the altar and slew the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself.
For himself.
And the sons of Aharon presented the blood unto him, and he dipped his finger in the blood and put it upon the horns of the altar, and poured out the blood at the base of the altar. But the fat and the kidneys and the lobe of the liver of the sin offering, he made smoke upon the altar. He made a smoke upon the altar. So this is all a ceremony they got to go through. This is all they have to do, because in order to do service for the people before the Most High God, he has to straighten himself out first. And he has to straighten his children out first. So you can't go and do something for someone and you're not ready to do the job. You have to be ready to do the job. When you come up before people, when we come up and we present lessons or anything, we have to be ready before the Most High God. I was up to 2 o'clock in the morning last night. Anybody who knows Shabbat Night Talk, I'll be falling asleep on the screen. They take, you know how many snapshots they took of me and sent to me? Boy, you was out for like 4 minutes. We was calling you, and you was out. That was good sleep. But for the word of God, I was up to 2 in the morning. My wife said, what time you going to go to sleep? I said, I got one more thing. Because you got to make preparation when you come before God's people, because as we see later in this portion, if you don't prepare and you do things the way that the Most High God did not command, it could cost you your life. Let us go. As Jehovah commanded Moshe, verse 11. And the flesh and the skin were burnt with fire without the camp. And he slew the burnt offering, and Aharon's sons delivered unto him the blood, and he dashed it against the altar round about. And they delivered the burnt offering unto him, piece by piece, and the head, and he made them smoke upon the altar. They had to do it in the order that Moses, the Most High God, told Moses to tell them. Because if they go out of any part of that order, it's not what the Creator commanded. It's very important that we understand that it's what the Most High God commanded. This is what we see in the Torah portion that Moreh Itamar spoke about Uzziel, right? And that was David's fault, but Uzziel died for his own sin. Why? Because he put his hand on this actual box that's supposed to be carried on poles, but he decided to carry it on a cart. And the higher that you are, the more you have to pay attention to what God says, because it could cost you your life. And this is what happened with David. This is what happened with Uzziel, and we're going to see that this is what's going to happen in this portion. Let us go. And he washed the inwards and the legs and made them smoke upon the burnt offering on the altar. And the people's offerings were presented. And he took the goat of the sin offering, which was for the people, and slew it.
He slew it.
And offered it for sin as the first.
As the first.
And the burnt offering was presented, and he offered it according to the ordinance.
So like I said earlier, he had to cleanse himself first. Now he's doing an offering for all of the people. Let us go.
And the meal offering was presented, and he filled his hand therefrom, and made it smoke upon the altar. Besides the burnt offering of the morning, he slew also the ox and the ram, the sacrifice of peace offerings, which was for the people. And Aharon's son delivered unto him the blood, and he dashed it against the altar round about. And the fat of the ox and of the ram, the fat tail, and that which covereth the inwards, and the kidneys, and the lobe of the liver. And they put the fat upon the breast, and he made the fat smoke upon the altar. And the breast and the right thigh Aharon wave offering before Yahweh, as Moshe commanded. And Aharon lifted up his hands toward the people, and blessed them. He came down from offering the sin offering and the burnt offering and the peace offerings. And Moshe and Aharon went into the tent of meeting and came out and blessed the people.
So they did everything that was commanded, that was instructed. And then after they cleansed, they did the sin offering for the people. They blessed the people. They blessed the people. Because this is now you're being... Aaron is being elevated, him and his sons is being elevated for a job, to do a job now before the Creator. So you have to be right when you do this job. This is important. Cleanliness is important. When you come before God and you present yourself before God, you have to be clean. When Aaron came during Yom Kippur, he took a bunch of baths going in and out of that, into the holy and into the holy of holies. He had to constantly wash every time he went in there. Because when we present ourselves before God, we have to be clean, not only physically, but we have to be clean mentally. We have to be clean. Our thoughts have to be pure. When you about ready to say a prayer before God, I will advise you when you wake up, say, Torah YAH, go brush your teeth, go wash your face, go do all those things, and then you come before God properly. You come before God with the mentality that you're going before an entity that could take your life. If you come up to that entity any old how, I go up and I just blurring out a prayer that makes no sense. That's why if you don't know how to pray, you don't got to use elaborate words. Use simple words. Come before God in your simplicity, because that's the way he likes it. Said, meek and humble is the way. He said, a contrite spirit I will not despise. So when you come before God, come in your humility. Don't try to be grandiose and you go before him and you messing up and you're using words that you don't really know the meaning of. Use the things that you know. That's what the Creator gave you. That's right. So we see the preparation here. We see that Aaron and his sons are getting ready, and everything is going according to plan. Let us go.
And the glory of Yahweh appeared unto all the people.
And the glory of Yahweh appeared unto all the people. So this could have been by the cloud that came down upon the tabernacle itself. Because remember, the cloud will dwell over the tabernacle in the daytime, and then there was a pillar of fire by night. So this could have been the cloud that came down and descended upon the tabernacle itself. Let's go.
And there came forth fire from before Yahweh, and consumed upon the altar the burnt offering and the fat. And when all the people saw it, they shouted and fell on their faces.
They shouted and fell on their faces because they are amazed at the way that the Most High God responded. But the Most High responded in a way that was approving of what was happening at this point. So he answered with fire. Boom! I approve of this. Y'all are doing the thing that I asked of you, and this is my approval. The fire came from heaven and consumed the offering that was presented before the Creator. Let's go.
Chapter 10, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aharon, took each of them his censer, and put fire therein and laid incense thereon, and offered strange fire before Yahweh, which he had not commanded.
He had not commanded.
And there came forth fire from before Yahweh, and devoured them, and they died before Yahweh. Then Moshe said unto Aharon, this is it that Yahweh spoke, saying, Through them that are nigh unto me, I will be sanctified. And before all the people, I will be glorified. And Aharon held his peace.
And Aharon held his peace. So we were just celebrating the inauguration of the temple, Aaron and his sons being elevated. Everything is going smooth. But something went outside of the lines. Something was out of bounds. There was a foul somewhere, right? There was an ejection somewhere, because now the same fire that the Most High God sent to approve of what was happening is the same fire that he sent down to disapprove of what was happening. Nadab and Abihu decided, the two oldest sons of Aaron, decided that they wanted to take their census, right, and go up before God offering something that he did not ask for, something that he didn't tell Moses that he wanted. And now they're presenting this, and God has rejected their offering by taking their lives. We have to be very aware that, like I said earlier, the higher you get in position, the more circumspect that you have to be. You have to be more circumspect. They were not circumspect. They thought that I could give extra to God. Just like Uzziel thought that it was okay to put his hands out. And what happens at the end is that God judges immediately. And that fire came from heaven. And just like the first fire came as approval, this fire came as not approving what was happening at this moment, because you went beyond what I asked to do. There was a certain way that I want this to be presented, and you went outside of those bounds. Let us continue.
And Moshe called Mishael and Elsaphan, the sons of Uzziel, the uncle of Aharon, and said unto them, Draw near, carry your brethren from before the sanctuary out of the camp. So they drew near and carried them in their tunics out of the camp, as Moshe had said.
So, the way, that I was taught this was that they were in the holies, right? Because that's where the incense altar is at. So they took up the fire pans and made a strange fire that God did not ask for. But then I had a conversation with one of my teachers, and he was saying, and this is just food for thought, it's not, I still, believe what I believe in, but he said, well, if they were inside of the place would be unclean. So you would have to go through the cleansing process for every article that's in there. He said, but he told me that in the Hebrew it says that they are before the sanctuary. Where they were picked up was before the sanctuary. He believes that they were the fire ejected them out of the place. So when the sons of Uzziel came to pick them up, that they were outside of the place. They was in front of the sanctuary, meaning like outside of the tabernacle. They got ejected out of the tabernacle. That's food for thought. I don't know if I really agree with that, but he made a point, and he took me to the Hebrew, and it says, he showed me where it says in Hebrew, before the sanctuary, not in the sanctuary. So, that's food for thought, and that's something that we could mull over. But I tend to believe that they were inside there. It doesn't explain whether or not things were cleansed or not. We don't understand, how the Most High God looked at it, but it was what it was, and we know for sure that they got killed for something that they were not supposed to do. Right. Let us go.
So they drew near and carried them in their tunics out of the camp, as Moshe had said. And Moshe said unto Aharon and unto Eleazar and unto Itamar his sons, Let not the hair of your heads go loose, neither rend your clothes, that ye die not, and that he be not wroth with all the congregation. But let your brethren, the whole house of Israel, bewail the burning which Yahweh hath kindled.
Listen, there's a thing, I said it last year. Go down to where it speaks about commitment to duty. Right there. So there's a thing called commitment to duty, right? And this is a perfect example of it. There's certain commitments that we have when we put in leadership positions that no matter what happens within your house, no matter what happens in your family, that you still have a job to do, because your job is greater than anything that's happening within your life. And certain people, this happens to be what they have to follow with certain people in certain positions. When you are in a high-ranking position at a Fortune 500 company, you get paid the big bucks for a reason. When things happen, you have to be there. You have to be accounted for. There's certain jobs like nurses. We just seen it with TSA. People were going on furlough, but they can't technically strike. Nurses can't strike. Police officers, can y'all strike? It's illegal for them to strike. Certain civil servants cannot strike. Why? Because they have a commitment to duty. Aaron and his sons, the two remaining sons, had a commitment to duty. Right? When you are in leadership position, you have a commitment to duty. Now, what does it say about a commitment to duty?
Commitment to duty is the dedicated, ethical, and consistent fulfillment of responsibilities.
Responsibilities.
Viewing obligations as a moral calling rather than just a requirement.
Just a requirement. So this is your moral calling. And not only, but people who stand in these type of seats, these are divine callings. Because sometimes people don't choose you. The Most High God chooses you. Right? And sometimes even when you put in that position by man, it's still God who chose. So when your commitment to duty comes, you can't waver because things are not going all the way your way. You have to stand strong to your commitment because it is your duty. God put you there. Read on, my brother.
It involves unwavering loyalty, diligence, and accountability, often placing collective goals above personal interests. This trait ensures tasks are completed with integrity, even under pressure.
Often placing collective goals above personal interests. The goal of everyone. You see, Nadab and Abihu taught to do something individually. They neglected what God said for everyone. Therefore, it cost them their lives. We all have to be aware of this. Those of us who stand in this position, we have to understand that we have a commitment to duty, just like Aaron and the remaining two sons had a commitment to duty. That they had to continue with the job, although Aaron lost his sons, and the two remaining brothers, they lost their brothers. They had a commitment, they had to finish out what they had to do. And Moses had a job to do, although he lost two nephews. Let's go.
Verse 7. And ye shall not go out from the door of the tent of meeting, lest ye die. For the anointing oil of Yahweh is upon you. And they did according to the word of Moses.
They did according to the word of Moses. That meant that their commitment to duty, that their responsibility, they did not neglect. They continue with their responsibility for this day. Let's go.
And Yahweh spoke unto Aharon, saying, Drink no wine, nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tent of meeting, that ye die not. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generation.
So we assume from this that they might have took a swig, that they might have took a drink. It doesn't say that they did, but we assume from this, because why would this be registering at this point? Right? Why would this be written? And Yahweh spoke unto Aaron, saying, Drink no wine, no strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, that ye die not. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generation. So when you are before God, doing your duty before God, your mind cannot be altered. Your mind cannot be altered. You are in a different position than the common people. So if you're standing before people, you can't be saying prayers and you took a shot of whiskey. You took some wine. You blew some smoke. That's an altered mind. When you come before God and you doing this, that's why sometimes during festivals we say, who didn't take a drink? That person says the prayer, because we cannot play with the magnificence of the Creator. Because we see here that two men were killed for not following instructions. So when we come before God, we separate the common, right, from the holy. We separate the common from the holy. That's common. It's not wrong, but you can't present that to God. You can't come before God in that altered state of mind because it's going to cost you your life. Let us go.
And that you may put difference between the holy and the common,
Uh-huh.
and between the unclean and the clean.
Uh-huh.
And that you may teach the children of Yisrael all the statutes which Yehovah has spoken unto them by the hand of Moshe.
So this is a lesson, the separation between the holy and the common, between the clean and the unclean. The Most High God don't dwell in the midst of dirt.
Right.
He does not dwell in the midst of uncleanliness, whether physical or spiritual. The God don't dwell in mess.
That's right.
He don't dwell in things that are nasty and messy. He runs away from that. That's not what the Creator dwells in the midst of. So if you got to get things in order before you go. You got a space. You don't pray to God in a messy space. Clean up your spot. Chief of Chiefs used to tell us you have to have a place where you go before the Creator. He used to teach us that. He said you got to have your quarters where you go before God, where it's always clean, so that the Most High God may enter into your space. And perhaps He might put that ruach upon you, and you be refreshed and you be revived, because there is something to that. That's not hocus pocus. It's not spooky. That's right. Even the doctors tell you that. They tell you that. They said when you're going through any major thing in your life, that the people that have spiritual connection to a God, that's what they say, to a God, usually make it through better than people that don't have.
That's right.
So there is something with the Creator, the ruach that He gives us, and the connection that we make with Him that helps us to heal also. That's right, because you have to have trust and faith in Him. And when you have trust and faith in Him, He will help you, and in return, He will help you, because you are offering up the meditations of your lips every day, and you coming before Him sincerely. But don't go to God for just everything. Don't go to, and what I mean for everything, don't make silly prayers. Don't make stupid prayers. Don't start swearing to God for everything. Correct your children. I swear to God, correct that. We don't need that. We need clean prayers to the Creator. Good prayers to the Creator. Let's go.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
And Moshe spoke unto Aharon and unto Eleazar and unto Itamar, his sons that were left. Take the meal offering that remaineth of the offerings of your whole made by fire, and eat it without leaven beside the altar, for it is most holy.
For it is most holy. Eat it without leaven, but besides all, because it is most holy. The jar must go on. Commitment to duty. Let's go.
And ye shall eat it in the holy place, because it is thy due and thy sons do of the offerings of your whole made by fire.
Uh-huh.
For so I am commanded.
For so I am commanded. Who commanded him?
Yah.
Yah. So Moses is on point. You think Moses is not hurt? He saw these boys grow up. He saw these boys. You know, it's not a feeling like he's not, but like he's not hurt, but he knows that there's a job to complete. And we don't want the Creator to be angry and He wipes out the rest of y'all, because it's nothing for Him to do that. Let us go.
And the breast of waving and the thigh of heaving shall ye eat in the clean place, thou and thy sons and thy daughters with thee.
With thee.
For they are given as thy due and thy sons do out of the sacrifices of the peace offerings of the children of Israel.
The children of Yisrael. Let's go.
The thigh of heaving and the breast of waving shall they bring with the offerings of the fat made by fire, to wave it for a wave offering before Yehovah. And it shall be thine and thy sons with thee as a due forever, as Yehovah hath commanded.
There's also something to continue performing even under the stress that they're under at this point, right? Because most people will get nervous and have a nervous breakdown, but they had to continue to perform in the office and in the duty of the priest. And this is what Moses is making sure that they continue on their job. Let's go.
And Moshe diligently inquired for the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burnt. And he was angry with Eleazar and with Itamar, the sons of Aharon that were left, saying, Wherefore have ye not eaten the sin offering in the place of the sanctuary, seeing it is most holy, and he hath given it you to bear the iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before Yehovah? Behold, the blood of it was not brought into the sanctuary within, ye should certainly have eaten in the sanctuary as I commanded. And Aharon spoke unto Moshe, behold, this day have they offered the sin offering and their burnt offerings before Jehovah. And they have before me such things as these. And if I had eaten the sin offering today, would it have been well pleasing in the sight of Jehovah? And when Moshe heard that, it was well pleasing in his sight.
So Moshe, understandably, was angry with them, said, y'all ain't just see what happened? And y'all are lally-gagging, don't want to eat the offering, but when there's death around your family, you don't really have an appetite. You know, people lose weight when you lose someone in your family, especially someone that close to you. So understandably, you know, Itamar and Eleazar, they weren't that hungry. Aharon wasn't that hungry. No one in the family, their mother, if she was still around, she wasn't that hungry. If they had sisters, they weren't that hungry. They were in mourning state, And what they did is they took the rest of the offering, they just burnt it up. Why? Because these are things you could get back. These are offerings that people make all the time. So they like, would it do us any good if we ate it? Like, we just took a loss, bro. And Moses understood it. And the Most High obviously understood it because he didn't kill them. And they got basically a pass for it. Not a pass, but it wasn't anything that really they could be killed for, because that's how you do with offerings. If you can't eat it, you're supposed to burn them, right? Because you can't have it as a common. You can't defile the offerings either. You got to burn them up. So that's what they did. Let us go to Leviticus chapter 11.
Chapter 11, verse 1. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And Jehovah spoke unto Moshe and to Aharon, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the living things which ye may eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Mm-hmm. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is wholly cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that may ye eat.
Cloven-footed, cheweth the cud. You know the slides, man. So just go to them. Been doing this like for 20 years now. Come on. So what we got here? Cloven-footed.
Cloven-footed animals have a complete split in their hooves. These hooves are called claws and are named for their relative location on the foot. Mm-hmm. The outer or lateral claw, or the inner or medial claw. Uh-huh. The primary difference between a ruminant and non-ruminant called monogastric. All right, so go back to the Tanakh. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that only chew the cud, mm-hmm. or of them that only part the hoof, the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but parteth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Uh-huh. And the rock badger, because he cheweth the cud, but parteth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. All right, so just the ruminants, the animals that we're able to eat, right? What kind of stomach do they have? Who said it? 4-section stomach, right. So they have a 4-section stomach because they don't have a digestive system like humans or like the pig per se. We have a monogastric digestive system, which has actual acid in it to break down the food that we eat. So these actual animals, these animals that have the split hoof and are fully cloven-footed, and that are animals that we could eat, they have a 4-section stomach that they have to go through a process. Saliva breaks down their actual food. Saliva breaks it down. So these mammals, they keep chewing. It goes up from one stomach to the other, It keeps coming up. The bolus comes up. It goes back down. And each stomach has a job in that animal. As you see here, as it points out here, let me see. You can't see that up there, right? Can't see it on TV. But you see can you give the 4 different sections of the stomach? Right there is on the picture. The 4 parts of the stomach are the rumen, the reticulum, the omasum, and the abomasum.
Okay, so when we get, and this might sound a little bit strange to you, and particularly like in calves and in cows and animals like that, when it speaks about the priests and having, and they get the hind legs, and they also get the maw. When it talks about the maw, any one of you that come from the South that that you ever ate hog maws, what's hog maws? The stomach. So when it speaks about the maw that the priest could get, is what we know today is like beef tripe, right? And when you see that thing, is like rubbery. It just, you got to cook it for a long time. You got to actually cook that like for 4-5 hours before it could soften up. But one thing about that particular basar that comes from that stomach lining is there is no blood in it, and it's high in protein. No fat. You don't have to worry about cleaning off fat because it doesn't have it. It just seems like if you don't like that rubbery type of stuff, it's going to be strange to you. You're going to be like, but you know, people used to make they maw. You know what I mean? And people make beef stripe today, and they eat it. You know what I mean? And they eat it. So these are some of the things that we see within the Torah. Let's go, my brother.
Verse 6. And the head, because she cheweth the cud, but parteth not the hoof. She is unclean unto you.
She's unclean. So I got different animals there. Can you show those animals? So right here, press on the giraffe. Read that on the giraffe, what it says.
Giraffes surprisingly chew the cud, and their hooves are split. That makes the giraffe a clean animal for us to eat.
So I know none of us are having giraffe steaks anytime soon, no giraffe ribs, but they are clean. And I believe, go back to the giraffe, and he does chew the cud. You're going to see the action. Press play in the middle of, you know how to do that? It should be like a play button somewhere around up there. All right. You don't have to do it. It's all right. Go to the next one, the next picture. So these are, read that part right there.
All animals under order, Artiodactyla, Suborder, Ruminatia, chew cud and have split or cloven families. Antilocupridae, Bovidae, and Cervidae, Giraffidae, and Moschidae, and Tragulidae are all under this suborder and contain animals that chew cud. There are well over 250 different types of animals around the world that are clean for us to eat. So we don't have no reason to be eating anything unclean. There are over 250 species of animals around the world that looks, you know, we have deer here. In Africa, they got impalas. It's all the same family. They just live in different continent. If you go to Australia, they got a deer that might call it something different, but we know that we're able to eat it. We got different types of animals all over the world that we are able to eat, right? So there is no reason for us to eat anything unclean. Go to the next picture, my brother. So right here, can you read that? Those picture of a camel's hooves. As you can see, they are not completely split, and it's not cloven-footed.
It's not cloven-footed. They have toes. So this is not what the Most High God. The people in the East, they eat camel humps. They eat an unclean animal.
The hyrax does not chew the cud, but their chewing motion gives the appearance that it does.
Right. They do not chew the cud. Let's go.
The hare or the rabbit also does not chew the cud, but their chewing motion also gives the appearance that it does.
They're unclean unto us. People eat rabbits. People walk around with rabbits' feet as a good luck charm. We can't do any of that because any unclean animal, any part of the carcass of an unclean animal that we carry or we touch makes us unclean. We can't use rabbit hair, fur. You can't use all these the furs of all these unclean animals. You cannot use them. It makes you unclean. So when you use when you use a fox and chinchilla, those are all unclean animals. I know it looks nice, it looks stylish, but you are walking uncleanliness. And remember, God separates the holy from the common, the clean from the unclean. So if you're walking around, you a ball of uncleanness, with a raccoon tail hat and all sorts of stuff. How is God going to get close to you? God can't get close to you. Yeah. They wear them, I forgot what kind of animal they wear, but they wear that fur on their head. That's an unclean animal. How can God get close to you? Go to the next picture. Pigs. Did you get to that on the Tanakh?
I'm up to it now. Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And the swine, because he parteth the hoof and is cloven footed, but cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you.
Mm-hmm.
Of their flesh ye shall not eat, and their carcasses ye shall not touch. They are unclean unto you.
You should not, they carcass meaning when they're dead, don't touch them. They make you unclean. Separate the clean from the unclean. The pig is one of the number one sellers in this world. The one pig can have about 10 little piglets. So they have litters of animals. So, but God told us and commanded us, said, although they split the hoof, it said they do not chew the cud. They have a digestive system just like a human. They have acid in their stomach to break down food. In fact, when you go to certain, like I said a couple of years back, when the hotels in Vegas, they bring all they waste food, anything, and they dump it in the pig slops out there in the pig farms, and they don't waste no food. A pig will eat a dead carcass of an animal. They will eat a human being. They will eat the same little pig that people use as pets and stuff like that. He get hungry enough, he gonna eat. If somebody sits there still enough, he gonna start chewing. That's what pigs eat, anything. They are the sanitation department of the earth. This is what God put them here to do. This is their duty. This is their job, to clean the earth. But people have begun to take the sanitation department of the earth and made it food. And this is not what God, and I mean, they eat every part of the pig. You know what I mean? They eat pig feet. They eat the steak. They eat the ribs. They eat pig ears. They have hog head cheese. You got the skin, right? That's pork rinds. You got pernil. You got fat back. You got they use the fat from the pig to cook food, lard. Neck bone, the snout, every part of the pig. The most popular animal on the earth to eat. And people eat them. But God commanded for us not to eat them. Let's go.
These may ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them may ye eat.
Them may ye eat that have fins and scales. Let's go to some of these pictures right here. Go down, go down, go down. So, all right, so before we go to some of those pictures of go back to some of these pictures right here. So, some of the products we have to be careful with right here. So, we have the famous Jello. So, you could read, can you read the ingredients on Jello right here? Lael, you can see them?
Sugar,
gelatin,
adipic acid.
So the funny thing about this Jello is it has where is it at? It has a cake. No. Really? It has a cake. So I did a little research and I called and I asked, and the guy said, no, you know, it's good. I said, well, what type of gelatin you guys said? Because usually when you have clean gelatin, they'll point it out. It will say fish. It will say gelatin, beef gelatin. It will say some, plant gelatin, something. It will tell you the source, not just gelatin. Can you please do a little bit more research and please inform me as to why you have gelatin and you have a K on it? So the guy left me on the phone for about 5-6 minutes, came back. He said he could not tell me the source. Don't trust anything like this. Because gelatin that comes from a clean fish or comes from a clean source, it usually points it out. Now go to the next slide. So this is large marshmallows from Whole Foods, right? Can you read the ingredients on those marshmallows?
Corn syrup, cane sugar, modified cornstarch, gelatin, water, natural flavors, tetrasodium, and pyrophosphate.
You can't say I bought it from Whole Foods and it's clean. I go to Whole Foods and I just buy Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and it's all clean. You have to read. You have to read. If you don't read, you're going to get caught out there. It has gelatin. Go to the next slide. This is, when I was young, this was one of my favorites before I came into Torah. But this also has marshmallows in it. The moon pie. This is the moon pie was it. You know what I mean? But you know, Brother Amal know what I'm talking about. But the moon pie was it. But why we can't eat moon pie? Go ahead, Chief. Can you read the ingredients there?
Wheat flour, niacin reduced iron, thiamine, monotonitrate, riboflavin, water, soybean oil, gelatin, baking soda, corn palm, and palm something.
There might be a couple of ingredients there why we can't eat the moon pie, but the main one is gelatin, because gelatin, when it's just when it's just put like that, it usually the source is the pig. Yeah. They're going to point out if it's not from the pig. Go to the next slide. So now these are marshmallows that we can actually eat, and let's read the ingredients.
Ingredients: all vegan, tapioca syrup, cane sugar, filtered water, tapioca starch, carrageenan, soy protein, natural vanilla flavor, and soy. I
know it's a lot of sugar, but you know, at least the kids, you know what I'm saying? Go to the next one. Go ahead.
Corn syrup, sugar, dextrose, modified cornstarch, water, fish gelatin, natural and artificial flavor.
I just showed these so you could see the difference. You see how I said fish gelatin there? That comes from a clean fish. It's not going to be something that is going to be a detriment to us. You know, you probably shouldn't eat it because it's loaded with sugar. But if you are going to go that way, then you have to be, then you have to make the right choice. Now, when we go to cheeses, right? So this was surprising to me because for cheese, I was just looking out for rennet and things like enzyme. Usually the enzymes come, in my research, in my deep research, the enzymes come from the calf's stomach, from the actual calf's stomach. But the rennet could come from any animal, right? So in Borden's, I was kind of surprised because gelatin was in there. Can you read the ingredient?
Cheddar cheese, cultured milk, salt, enzymes, milk, cream, sodium citrate, whey, calcium, phosphate, milk protein concentrate, modified food starch, contains less than 2% of salt, gelatin, citric acid.
So now, for most part, if you're eating cheese, get you a nice cheddar cheese, because this is fake. This is American Slices. It's fake cheese. This is not real cheese. And I mean, I used to love American Slices, but in reality, you know what I mean? If you do get American Slices, there are other brands out there that you can eat from. Go to the next slide. But Borden is not it. So these are, because we a lot of times concentrate a lot on what we cannot eat, but these are the ones that we could eat right here. So what are some of those labels, my brother?
Whole Foods, milk cheddar, Tillamook, medium cheddar, Horizon Organic, American singles, Cabot, seriously sharp cheddar cheese, Sargento sharp cheddar, and Galbani mozzarella. Galbani
mozzarella is good. So if you need to get you some American Slices, you got the Horizon Company. If that's what you're into. I mean, I'm into the cheddar cheese now, and that's what I kind of stick with.
Sargento makes American now.
Makes an American also?
Yeah, you just start looking into that.
Okay, so let's go. Read that, my brother.
Popular vegetarian rennet cheese brands: Tillamook, Sargento, Cabot Creamery, 365 by Whole Foods Market, Horizon Organic, Philadelphia for the cream cheese, and Trader Joe's.
So there's options out there. There are many options out there. You just have to do the research and don't settle for what you see. You can't go into listen. Someone is making you a cheese sandwich or or a sandwich and they putting slices on it, it's your duty to ask, hey, what kind of cheese that is? What kind of cheese do you use on your mac and cheese? What do you do? And as for people in here, if I gave you this list, then you should make an effort to kind of use these type of things so that when we feed each other, we're not in violation and we're not making other people unclean. Remember, you got to make a difference between the clean and the unclean. So you could cause the congregation to sin if you're feeding them things that are not appropriate before the Most High God. Because it's not before us, it's before God that you're doing it first and foremost. And then you're making everyone sin.
Right.
So we have to be careful with the things that we do. Go to the next slide, my brother. Sugar. Something as simple as sugar, because we concentrate on, and we say sugar, well, sugar is not, how can sugar be unclean? So, before we go to this slide, go to the next one. I think I have something written on it. Let me see. Key, bone char, free sugars, and brands and types. So what I found out is, in order to filter sugar, right, in order to filter sugar, they use bone char of animals. I was just under the impression that they were using bones from cows. But they use also bones from pigs. And the cows that they were using were cows from India, and cows that died on themselves, because you know in India they worship the cow. So they would go collect these bones, and these companies would use it. And bone char is basically they take the bones of these animals and they burn them. They char them, just like they're speaking about. And through a process, they send the raw sugar through it, and it actually bleaches the sugar. They do it with wine also. So it bleaches the sugar, it refines the sugar to where the sugar gets crystallized and white the way that we see it. Sugar in its natural state is, when you see it, when they separate it, it looks like raw. Like sugar in the raw, turbinado sugar. There's a lot of companies out there that sell sugar in the raw. They haven't extracted the molasses out of it. They haven't taken all the nutrients out of the sugar. Actually, what we eat is just sucrose. You know what I mean? That's what we're eating when we see that refined table sugar that we eat. So we have to be careful with the sugars that we eat, because if it's cane sugar, the process of charring the bone, right? If it comes from the sugar cane, right, you have to know what company you could get it from, so to understand that they're not going through this bone char refining process, right? Now, sugar in America also comes from beet juice. So now, if your sugar source is from beet juice, they don't use this process. You're safe. Even if it's a regular store brand, and if it says beet, that the source of the sugar is beet, you good. Even if it's a regular Associated, Key Food, whatever. Usually those store brands usually come from a beet source. But reading is always important. This is what's going to save us. Now, read some of these sugars right here.
Key, bone char, free sugar brands and types. Organic sugar, raw natural cane sugar, beet sugar, other brands, Billington's, Bob's Red Mill, Imperial Sugar, and Michigan Sugar. Store brands, many generic store brands like White Sugars, Walmart, Great Value, Aldi's, are made from sugar beets, which are not processed with bone char. Domino sugar, some refined sugar from specific plants. Yonkers, Baltimore, South Bay, is not processed with bone char. Often identified by lot numbers 1, 4, or 6.
But Domino's does use that process. As only certain factories don't. So we will ask the people who come here, don't bring Domino sugar. There's so many other brands you could use. You don't have to use Domino sugar. You don't have to go out of your way to use Domino sugar to make a cake. They got so many other brands. Yeah, you got Jack Frost. Jack Frost is cool. Read the next line.
Tips for finding vegan sugar. Look for organic. Certified organic sugars does not use bone char.
Why? Because if you say organic, you cannot use any animal source. So if you're safe with an organic sugar, because by USDA measures, you cannot char it with the animal bone. Let's go.
Look for beet sugar. Beet sugar processing does not use bone char. And avoid refined cane sugar unless the brand states it is vegan or bone char free.
So go back to the previous picture. So these are some of the sugars right here. Can you read some of those names?
Organic cane sugar, brown sugar, or powdered cane sugar, Florida crystals.
These are safe, right?
Wholesome. They have organic light brown sugar, organic honey, organic coconut palm sugar, and then you have sugar in the raw, the turbinado cane sugar.
So I came up with this list because I always tell you what you can't eat, and then I realized, do I got stuff here that people could eat? People always ask, like, well, what can we eat? You know, so just giving you a brief list of some of the things that are permissible and that are able to be eaten by us, and we ask that if you come and you feed us, that you use the products that we could eat and that we can eat. All right, so that way things will go easier for all of us. Right. Go to the next slide. All right, we didn't get to fish yet. Right? Let's go. Oh, for soaps also with the gelatin. Yes, because they put gelatin in soaps. You got your beauty products. If you're putting on makeup, if you're putting on lipstick, lip gloss, you have to read. They have ingredients. You have to read. I'm not the teacher that come up and say, oh, if you want to put on whatever you want to, but you have to read. You can listen. It's like the brother said. He said, "I'm tired." The brother said the other day, he said, "I'm tired of kissing shrimp lips." You know, I don't want to kiss shrimp lips no more. But if you putting on, and we understood what he meant by that. But you put on some lip gloss and you got gelatin in that lip gloss and you kissing your husband, you're making him unclean. Yeah, you're making him unclean. Yeah, tallow, you got glycerin. These are all ingredients. Tallow is also got fat, and they use it from pig. The glycerins some of the glycerins that you use, you have to do research in order to eat correct. You cannot just, it's all good. And I go and I buy it and I purchase it. It's just cheese. No, it's not just cheese. I just showed you how they put gelatin in cheese. Come on. Rennet comes from any kind of animal. So you got vegetarian rennet. You got rennet that don't come from an animal source, and they got people actually out there, companies out there that actually put that. So if you put a little effort and you're not lazy, you can actually eat clean. But if you're not putting the effort in, you could be eating unclean. I'm not saying you're eating unclean, but you could be eating unclean. Let us go, my brother.
Verse 9. These may ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them may ye eat.
Them may ye eat.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that swarm in the waters, of all the living creatures that are in the waters, they are a detestable thing unto you.
They are a detestable thing unto you.
And they shall be a detestable thing unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, and their carcasses ye shall have in detestation. Whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that is a detestable thing unto you.
No fins nor scales in the waters, a detestable thing unto you. So now let's go to some of those fish that we could eat. There's a lot more fish that you could eat, but this is the standard of stuff that we could eat and we cannot eat. Let's go. Which one is that one?
The mackerel.
The mackerel. Yeah, the mackerel we cannot eat. Why? Because the mackerel does not have fins and scales. Go to the next slide. He has fins, but he does not have scales. Sorry about that. This is a list of fish that we can eat. Can. C-A-N, can.
The Atlantic salmon. Bluefish.
So what we also have to understand, because a lot of people take certain fish and they put them into question. Oh, look what they eat. We love salmon, right? You know why salmon got that red color? Because they eat a lot of shrimp. God is not talking about what the fish is eating, because the fish has to eat. And the fish going to eat whatever is before him. So it's not talking about what the fish is eating. It's saying that you can eat them because these characteristics they have. They have fins and they have scales. It's not talking about what the fish eat, what the bird is eating. It's talking about the characteristics of the animals and what they have. So tilapia has scales. People say they bottom feeders. I get it, but if they have fins and scales, you can eat them. Do you know that piranhas have fins and scales? They have fins and scales, and the piranha will eat a whole cow if you put him in there and he's injured. He'll eat you. So I probably won't be eating piranhas anytime soon, but
It's good to eat.
it's good to eat. That's what God said. They're okay to eat. Let us go, my brother. Read some of these clean fish.
The codfish, the yellow-tailed flounder, the trout, the barracuda, the
Barracuda.
and the perch.
Go to the next slide. So now, this is how scales look. I showed this last year. When I went to Panama, this fish was about a 30-pound fish or something like that. This guy, and that's the scales that came off the fish. I don't want to hear about fish got nervous condition and when they bring them out the water, the scales fall out. That's not what God is talking about, because that's what they say about the tuna. But go to the next slide. So press play. It's a play button on there. I need you to press play on that, my brother. I need you to just don't be technologically challenged one time. So now, this is a yellow tail of fin tuna. Taken out the water. And there, I don't see a scale on the table. They're taking the fins off. They got shark skin. Smooth. It's not even a scale pattern that I see. So, well, you could say but you got Jewish people that say you can eat tuna. Now, if you could go to the fish market and find a tuna with fins and scales, you're good to go. Thank you. Right? But if you're talking about this, commercial tuna, the stuff they put in can, I don't know about that. And we had this thing that when you was in doubt, you did without. Right or wrong, Ima? When in doubt, do without. I don't see a scale falling on the table. A scale falling on the table. So tuna, we could do without. We don't need to eat tuna. Go to the next slide, my brother. All right, so that's when we get to the verse. Go back to the Tanakh.
Verse 12. Whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that is a detestable thing unto you.
A detestable thing unto you.
And these ye shall have in detestation among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are a detestable thing. The great vulture, and the bearded vulture, and the osprey, and the kite, and the falcon after its kind, every raven after its kinds, and the ostrich, and the nighthawk, and the sea mule, and the hawk after its kinds, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the horned owl, and the pelican, and the carrion vulture, and the stork, and the heron after its kind, and the hoopoe, and the bat. And the bat.
So when we see which one is it? I believe the Tim Shemet is the.
We didn't get to that yet.
Go ahead. No, I think we did get to that, right?
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah. The Tim Shemet is, they have it here as the, what's my Hebrew one? Tim Shemet, when, all right, so little explanation about one of the birds. It's called Tin Shemet, right? So when we look at the original text, when it was translated from the Hebrew, when the Greeks took the 70 elders and they made them translate the actual Tanakh into Greek, into Koine Greek. In order for that Greek actual book to be official, they all had to translate the book. All the translations had to be the same. Basically, they would not accept it unless all the translations was the same. Needless to say, the elders, they did it. It was all the same. And every time they translated the word Tin Shemet, they translated it to swan. As an unclean animal to eat. A swan is a webbed feet or webbed foot animal. So you got ducks that are webbed feet. You got geese are webbed feet. You got all of these animals that have webbed feet. We cannot eat them. They're all in the same family. So when it comes to duck, we can't eat duck as a group of people. The European Jews eat duck. We don't eat duck. And they excluded the word duck from here because they eat duck. So we don't eat duck. God didn't command. It's not clean for us to eat duck. Aquatic animal, those aquatic animals with webbed feet are not clean for us to eat. Sorry. That's not what is good for us to consume, and we're not going to consume that. All right? So now we do have animals. So we could go through some of those birds, but I want to get to the animals that we can eat. Let's go. Because I've told y'all through years the animals, just scroll through the pictures, you know, the hawks and the condors and all that stuff. So a lot of people, the owl, the swan, pelican, no, that's the vulture. Go back to the turkey vulture. I want to explain something with that. So a lot of people say you can't eat turkey because of this guy right here. He is called a turkey vulture. He's not a turkey. He's called a turkey vulture because it looks like a turkey, but it's not a turkey. So some people took it and say you can't eat a turkey vulture because no, that's just actually just a vulture who is a scavenger. You know, we cannot eat this, but we're going to get to the animals that we can actually eat. Right here. So I want you to read that. So one point of reference. And the Tanakh, the Most High God fed us quails, right? He said he gave us quail every day while we was in the wilderness because we wanted the basar. We wanted that, right? So he gave us that and he fed us quail every day. So if we could eat quail, just like with the unclean animals where we can't have them nor their family, right? With quail, it's the opposite. If you can have quail, you can have the quail and whatever is the family of the quail. So let's see some of the birds that are family to the quail. Let's go.
Quail is a collective name for several genera of mid-sized birds generally placed in the order of galliforms. Galliforms is an order of heavy-bodied ground-feeding birds that includes turkey, grouse, chicken, New World quail, and Old World quail, ptarmigan, partridge, pheasant, francolin, junglefowl, and the crassidae.
So it doesn't talk about what they eat. It just say that these are the animals that you can eat because birds eat worms, they eat little insects, they eat stuff on the floor. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but then there's the other theory that chickens are descendants from dinosaurs. Chickens are descendants from dinosaurs. So I would say this. If they are descendants from dinosaurs, I don't know. This is where I might jump on the other side of the fence with my belief in dinosaurs. But if they are from the same family as the quail, then they're clean to eat, whether or not you believe they come from dinosaurs or not. God said that the quail, he fed us quail. Am I right or wrong? So let's see the family and the birds that come from each one of these from the actual quail. The first one is the turkeys. This is why it's called a turkey vulture, because you see the neck and you see whatever, it kind of looks similar, but these are actual turkeys. The peafowl, or what we know as the peacocks, are also clean to eat. We look at a pretty bird or whatever, but he comes from the same family. Yeah, he could fry them up. The grouse. The grouse is also clean for us to eat. How do you say that next one? Ptarmigan. is also clean to eat. You can see almost some of the similarities with some of these birds. The partridge, all I knew about partridge was the partridge family, but we can actually eat them. Let me see here. Pheasants. Pheasants are clean to eat. The Franklin bird is clean to eat. Jungle fowls, which is nothing but a chicken that lives in the jungle, right? Because you can see, right? You can see it's a chicken. It's not domesticated. It just lives in the wild. Then you have what's that? Crassidae. You can eat that. You see he got the crop like the chicken. But these are wild animals that if you anywhere in the jungle and you're like, that's a crassidae, we can eat that. You know what I mean? You don't have to starve. You know, everybody else is catching wild boars, and if you in the apocalypse and be like, you be starving, you like, what can I eat? Be like, that's a crassidae right there. I learned that one from Chief Uzziel. You can eat that one. You see a peacock and you hungry, kill the peacock and eat the peacock because it's all right. The peafowl. You got the chickens. Of course, that's the predominant bird, and along with the turkey that we feed upon. But you have all over the world. You got pigeons, right? White doves, and you got rock pigeons. And you go to the next picture, you got turtle doves. It's all the same family. It's just different. The doves are bigger. The pigeons are a little bit smaller, and the turtle doves smaller. And God considered us in all these things, because he said, if you can't bring this for an offering, he goes all the way down to a turtle dove. You could bring up some turtle doves. You could trap them and bring them up as an offering. So, there's a lot of options out there for us to eat. Let us get through this, Chief, so we can finish out this.
Verse 20. All winged swarming things that go upon all fours are a detestable thing unto you. Yet these may ye eat of all winged swarming things that go upon all fours, which have jointed legs above their feet, wherewith to leap upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat. The locust after its kind, and the bald locust after its kind, and the cricket after its kind, and the grasshopper after its kind. But all winged swarming things which have 4 feet are a detestable thing unto you.
Show them that picture. Oh, you showing them already? All right, so I don't know how many of us are eating locusts and grasshopper anytime soon, or crickets. I might not be ready for that yet, but they're clean to eat. They're high in protein when you do the research on it. So these are the wet markets in China, and a lot of these animals they eat that we cannot eat. But go back to the Tanakh.
And by these ye shall become unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even. Every beast which parteth the hoof but is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, is unclean unto you. Everyone that toucheth them shall be unclean. And whatsoever goeth upon its paws, among all beasts that go on all fours, they are unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even. They are unclean unto you.
They are unclean unto you. But you go, a lot of our people go to these Chinese restaurants. I believe the other day they said that they found in a Chinese restaurant 20 squirrels in the cooler, So they chop up stuff into small stuff and season it up, and you will never know the difference because they eat all of this stuff. A lot of them come from a culture. In China, there's like 1.something billion people. So they eat whatever is there. They eat bats. They eat, look, they getting devoured from the bear, what's that, a panda? Whatever bear they got there, they getting they getting devoured from the stomach. These are skinned cats in their markets. And Fidel is going to be a dinner that night. It's going to be dinner that night. So these are things that they eat. God gave us the law. He gave the children of Israel the law. He made us a peculiar treasure. He said, these are the things you shall hold in detestation. And these are the things that are unclean unto you. Make a difference between the clean and what? The unclean. Between the common and the what? The holy. You notice that right after Aaron's sons died, we get the laws of what you're supposed to bring up there because we don't want nobody else to die. So make sure when you're making these offerings that you're bringing up the right thing. And make sure that you're eating the right thing so that you won't be presented unclean before the Creator. Let us go.
Verse 29.
Uh-huh.
These are they that which are unclean unto you among the swarming things that swarm upon the earth. The weasel and the mouse, and the great lizard after his kind, and the gecko and the land crocodile, and the lizard and the sand lizard, and the chameleon. These are they which are unclean to you among all that swarm. Whosoever doth touch them when they are dead shall be unclean until the even. And upon whatsoever any of them when they are dead doth fall, it shall be unclean.
It shall be unclean.
Whether it be any vessel of wood or raiment or skin or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherewith any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the even.
Unclean
then
until
shall
even.
it be clean.
Then it shall be clean. So any one of these little fellas fall into. That's why it's important to keep a clean house. It's important to keep a clean house. You be smelling, man, that's coming behind the wall. No, it's in the pile of clothes that you got right there. The pile of clothes, the mouse died in there, and you smelling this. You got to clean up. You got to be able to see things. So that if they do get in, you know how to trap them. Yeah, the sink full of dishes. You got roaches all over the place. You got all types of stuff going on. You got to keep a clean house so that you could avoid these things happening. Because if they fall into things, they die into things, you're wasting food. You got to throw it out. Because they make everything unclean. Whatever they fall into, they make it unclean. So we have to be careful with how we carry ourselves. All these things right here make you unclean. Let us go.
And every earthen vessel whereinto any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and it ye shall break.
Your earthen vessel, because it breathes. If it falls in it, it has pores. These things seep through the pores. You're not going to use that earthen vessel again. You got to break it up. You got to get rid of it. Let's go.
All food therein which may be eaten, that on which water cometh, shall be unclean. And all drink in every vessel such vessel that may be drunk shall be unclean.
Shall be unclean.
And everything whereupon any part of their carcasses falleth shall be unclean. Whether oven or range for pots, it shall be broken in pieces. They are unclean and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or a cistern wherein is a gathering of water shall be clean. But he who touches their carcass shall be unclean. And if aught of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed, which is to be sown, it is clean. But if water be put upon the seed and aught of their carcass fall thereon, it is unclean unto you.
For the main thing for these things not to cleave unto us is for us to keep clean homes. You cook, wipe. You put dishes in the sink, wash it. And a lot of times it's like, a lot of the kids, you have to talk to them about this, right? Because if you, but kids today, they leave a spoon of rice or one half bitten chicken in the pot and put it back in the refrigerator anyway. That wasn't allowed in my house. My mother would put them pots right on my bed. You know what I mean? So, but when you do use something, get used to cleaning. When you make mess, when you take that scoop of whatever and it falls or it drips, I am sure that there's paper towel. I'm sure that there is a wet rag or something somewhere in the sink or in the vicinity of the kitchen that you could grab and you could wipe. Because when the rice grains fall into the range, right, and you leave it there, that's food. You're attracting stuff. That's food for the things to come into your home because you don't keep a clean home. You gotta, yes, pick up the little metal grid and wipe that down, clean it, put it back. That takes literally 20 seconds, 10 seconds. Rinse out the rag, put it back to hang. And guess what? There's not work for someone else. You're considering the next person. You're considering your mother and your father not screaming and yelling. Because that's going to be the next. Who did this mess? Who made this mess? So these things help us along the way if we keep things like this in mind. Let's go.
39. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, He that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the even. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the
So
even.
these are clean animals that we are able to eat. If they die of themselves, we cannot eat them. That's why you got some group of people that won't even eat basar today, because they said we don't know if it died of itself. And they are extreme like that. I get it. You know what I mean? Some people are just being precautious. Let's go.
And every swarming thing that swarmeth upon the earth is a detestable thing. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all fours, or whatsoever hath many feet, even all swarming things that swarm upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are detestable things. Ye shall not make yourselves detestable with any swarming thing that swarmeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. For I am Yahweh your God.
I am Yahweh your God.
Sanctify yourselves therefore and be ye holy.
Sanctify yourselves and be ye holy.
For I am holy.
For I am holy.
Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of swarming thing that moveth upon the earth. For I am Yahweh that brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I
God
am
doesn't even want you to eat a clean animal that dies of itself. He wants you to make a separation from that. A clean animal that dies of itself, he said, give that to the stranger.
Right.
And that's not even the stranger that lives like you, because he's not going to accept that.
Right.
Because he knows the Torah just like you. Why would you give me that? Give it to the other people.
Right.
The passerby that's coming through your land. That's who you give it to. So, but you don't eat that for yourself, because you are holy people. You're different. That's right. Let us go.
This is the law of the beast and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that swarmeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the living thing that may be eaten and the living thing that may not be eaten. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So in this we see not only the reverence that we have to give to the Most High God, but the way that we have to sanctify ourselves and what the Creator accepts from us. He accepts only clean things. Not only clean physically, but mentally, spiritually. We got to come before this great King. All honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Creator of Cain, Ima.
The swat, where is that for?
The what?
That fish called swat?
I don't even know that fish, Ima. I would have to research it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know all the fish, but I do the ones that I eat, I do stick to it, you know. So giving all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, and I thank the Creator of heaven and earth for allowing me to get through this lesson. I pray that the Most High God will bless us all. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Blessed be. At this time, you gonna do the close? Yeah.